Welcome back from Farm to You to Table by HEB. Become the designer by selecting your monthly changing Lone Star Living Bouquet plus a beautiful bunch and an exclusive vase that goes perfect with this arrangement. I'm so excited about this arrangement this season. Number one, there's pine cones in it, which I love pine cones. They're throughout my whole house during this holiday season. And also Christmas greens. Your house smells so good with them in it. I just love it. You can actually take some of the bits and pieces from this +1 and put them throughout your house. The Christmas green smell, to me, I love it. I love holiday. It just makes me feel warm in the inside. So we're gonna take this wonderful bouquet. We're gonna open it up and we're gonna start off like we always do. And we're gonna take off all of the excess greenery on it. You're gonna see this is, some of the cedars have a lot more excess of greenery on them down lower. It's just the way they are, and it's a woodier stem too. Just make sure they're out. It's really important with woodier stems to get a lot of the leaves off of it, because what happens with this is you're gonna have a lot of dirtier water, which is not gonna make your arrangement last as long. So I'm just gonna take and clean all those off. And again, you can keep these little bits and pieces off to the side and use those like in little bud vases throughout your whole house, because that smell is fantastic. So I'm going to use this and just, again, clean them all off. Where you think it's, not going to be in the water. Again, that's very important. And we've already put our flower food in the water already. I know I preached this about our flower food, which is our little additive that we have in our bouquets that you just cut in there. It's got the perfect amount of additives to keep the flowers beautiful, but also it has some disinfectant to it as well to make it make the bouquet last longer. So I'm gonna take and adjust a few things around in this bouquet. It's pretty well hand tied. I'm gonna move this to the back. And I'm gonna fluff some stuff around. It's got this great hydrangea in it. I'm gonna move it to the front. Don't be afraid to move some of your stems around, because again, some of these bouquets, in travel, they get moved around, so don't be afraid to touch the bouquets, mess with the bouquets, and make yourself the designer. And if it doesn't look right, it doesn't look right. So don't question yourself. Like have that eye to say, oh, that doesn't look right. Again, I'm gonna add the other little stem here, and then you can lay that down. Don't be afraid to lay that stem down. It is pretty well hand tied. You can see how it splays out and makes it really nice and hand tied. That is a technique that the farm already does for you. So it's already kind of pre-designed. So you can set this bouquet down and lift it back up and it still stays together. I'm gonna take the rest of my Christmas greens and or holiday greens, and I'm going to just cut them in some pieces. That one's really long, so it can actually make 2 pieces. So I'm gonna take some of the lower limbs off, keep those stems that you're pulling off to the side, because those are fantastic to use throughout your house. And then I'm gonna take this one and do the same thing. And this will probably make your hands a little dirty, so I'll tell you a technique about that, is to take and use lotion to take off some of the pine cone resin that gets, or the pine resin or the evergreen resin that gets on your hand. Use some lotion. Anything that's got a petroleum base to it helps take that off your hands, that ick off your hands. Really easy. So if you wash it with soap, it doesn't come off. You'll see that it doesn't come off. There's some really long breaks on this. A break is where the stems are long. So I can use those either in this arrangement, or I can use this throughout my house. Again, I'm just gonna clean all these off. This is actually a long, long one. I love that greenery. And we're gonna keep doing this like we always do. We're gonna use our table as our guiding point to cut our arrangement. Again, very important to get that arrangement the right size for this vase. We've picked this vase because it's the right vase for this arrangement, the right size for it, so it's not too big, not too small, and it's just wonderful to use that on your table or in your house. It's just a great additive to have for your bouquet work that you're doing now as your designer in your own home. I'm gonna pull it to the side, and I'm gonna again cut it off on the right length. If again there's anything that you feel that's gonna be in water, just remove it. It's easy. Again, be the designer, make sure that water is clean. It's very important. And I'm gonna drop it in. I'm dropping it in right now because I'm gonna add these greens to it as I see it needs it. So for me, Christmas greens can be a little tricky when you're designing with them, because they're so artistic themselves, and they kind of move all over the place. So I wanna really come in and put these where I think it has holes in it. And I'm gonna use some of these smaller pieces to kind of fill in my front. Every arrangement, even though you design it well or whatever, has a front, and actually there's my front, the focal of this arrangement. And again, you can take these, they're long enough just to use by themselves. and see they're in water. Just make sure that you get them off long enough to keep them in water. That's very important. And again, if that water starts to get a little murky, remember to change it out, because pine evergreens can be a little resiny and can make that water really dirty. So if you see that water getting kind of murky and nasty, change the water out. Go into your sink, pour the water out, get a new packet of flower food, add it to it, and start all over again. That's gonna make your arrangement last a long, long time. And again, who cannot love that smell of the holidays? I'm just gonna fill in a few more pieces here and there. And you don't have to use all of the greenery. Remember, you can use some of this greenery throughout your house, just in some little vases. Again, I pulled those pieces off earlier, and honestly, this thing is so beautiful right now, I don't want to do anything else to it. Like, I think that's gorgeous. I still have all this left over. So here we are, this beautiful arrangement. Here's my focal. Again, I love how artistic it looks with all this flouncy, beautiful greenery that sticks out everywhere all over it. This makes me happy to see it. Happy holidays. Follow us for a new video every month.